Welcome to our channel. Please like and subscribe. What if everything you believe about time is incomplete? You feel it passing. You measure it every day. You plan your life around it. But what if time isn't what it seems? What if time can slow down, speed up, or even behave differently depending on where you are? In this video, we're going to explain what time really is in the simplest way possible, so you can understand one of the most important concepts in the universe. Let's begin. First, what is time? At its simplest level, time is a way to measure change. That's it. When something changes, moves, or happens, we use time to describe that change. For example, a clock doesn't create time. It measures it. The movement of the hands is simply a consistent way to track change. Now think about this. If nothing ever changed, no movement, no motion, no events, would time even exist? That's one of the big questions, because time and change are deeply connected. Now let's go a little deeper. Time has two main roles. It orders events and it measures duration. Ordering events means it tells us what happened first and what happened next. Duration means it tells us how long something takes. For example, you wake up, then eat breakfast, then start your day. Time keeps everything in sequence. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Time feels constant, but it isn't. According to physics, time can actually change. This idea comes from Einstein's theory of relativity, and it shows that time is not the same everywhere. Time can slow down or speed up, depending on two things: speed and gravity. Let's break that down simply. The faster something moves, the slower time passes for it. This is called time dilation. So, if you were traveling extremely fast, close to the speed of light, time would move slower for you compared to someone standing still. Now, gravity. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. So near something very massive, like a black hole, time slows down significantly. This means time is not fixed, it is flexible. It depends on where you are and how fast you are moving. Now think about this. If two people experience time differently, then time is not universal. It's relative. That's why it's called relativity. Now, let's bring it back to everyday life. Even though time can change, the differences are extremely small for us. So we experience time as steady and predictable. That's why clocks work. That's why schedules exist. But at a deeper level, time is far more complex. Now, let's talk about something you experience every day, the feeling of time. Sometimes, time feels fast. Other times, it feels slow. But this has nothing to do with actual time. It has to do with your perception. Your brain processes time differently based on attention and experience. When you're bored, time feels slow. When you're engaged, time feels fast. So there are two versions of time: measured time and perceived time. Now, here's something even more interesting. You can only move forward in time, not backward. This is called the arrow of time. And it's connected to something called entropy, which is the tendency for things to move toward disorder. For example, a glass can shatter, but it won't naturally unshatter. This direction from order to disorder gives time its forward flow. Now, let's simplify everything. Time is a way to measure change. It helps us organize events and understand duration. It is not fixed. It can change depending on speed and gravity. And your experience of time is influenced by your mind. Now, take a moment. Think about how often you check the time task, plan your times, or feel like you don't have enough time. Yet, time itself is not something you can touch or see directly. It is something you experience, something you measure, and something that shapes your entire life. Now, let's review slowly. Time measures change. It orders events. It tracks duration. It can slow down. It can speed up. And it is experienced differently by your mind. These simple ideas explain something incredibly complex, because time is not just a number on a clock. It is part of how the universe works. Take a slow breath and think about this right now. As you're listening, time is moving forward, one moment at a time. And every moment is something you will never experience again, which makes time one of the most valuable things you have, and one of the most fascinating things to understand. That was excellent. Please like and subscribe for daily lessons. See you next time.